Welcome, Reflections. You're over here with Sarethia. Hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on our next video. We are talking about hoodoo and root work. We're going to Greenwood, Mississippi, and I want to tell you a story about Dr. J.W. Gillespie. Well, as far back as the 1928s, practitioners were accused of using Quakery to deceive their clients. Dr. J.W. Gillespie, who touted himself as a palmistry and hoodoo expert, had been walking the streets of Greenwood, Mississippi, selling various alleged magical objects. The self-proclaimed doctor promised to bring loved ones back together and to even get rid of those who might interfere in your love life. Some items Gillespie used were rabbit feet, mercury, and other traditional materials. Gillespie was warned to leave town but returned and was arrested for extorting money by false pretense. So he was falsely accused. Reflections. They ordered him not to come back to Greenwood, and he did. And when he did, they arrested him for extorting money. Well, let's go down a little further in Mississippi, and I want to tell you a story about Dr. Edgar Simmons. Now, in the late 1930s, Mississippi spiritual doctor Edgar Simmons was arrested for false pretense after it was discovered he was collecting money for herbal remedies and various spiritual rituals. Officials claim Simmons had allegedly hypnotized several women in the city, which is believed to have led to nervous conditions and insanity. Mid-South spiritual doctor counted on the reliability of the traditional remedies that had been proven successful and the work of the spiritualists to bring about good health for his clients. Unfortunately, in some cases, this was not enough. In Mississippi, faith healer Lula Lee King cried as she watched the health of her 10-year-old daughter begin to deteriorate. Her little girl began to uncontrollably and would eventually become unresponsive. King had prayed for her daughter's healing and even took the child to a local physician. Nothing seemed to help the little girl. The mother began to wonder if the problem was more than just a simple illness. The mother believed that the child could have a spiritual problem. Lula decided to take her child to visit a local spiritual healer. The healer, Toby Fuller, prescribed the use of a traditional remedy to combat some of the child's symptoms. Fulford turned to friends Pastor Alex Ward and spiritual healer J.M. Dixon. Now, Ward and Dixon were well known in the local African American community for providing healing treatments and medical supplies. Reverend Ward sold a line of herbal teas called Grandma's Teas, some tropical ointments, and bottles of mineral water. Dixon was believed to have knowledge of specific rituals and herbs used in healing. Together, the men concocted a treatment involving the use of compounds consisting of cream of tartar, Epsom salt, sulfur, which was placed on the child's skin to fight off the rashes. Police were called in after the child began to choke on what was described as regurgitating matter in her tiny lungs. The child had been administered a number of potions in order to remove a hex that her mother believed was harming the girl. The child lacked food or running water and was placed in a shack that local district attorneys described as a shanty filled with hexes and voodoo signs. The child's mother, the spiritual healer, and the minister were all charged by the police for the child's death. Again, reflection. This is another story in the South about hoodoo and voodoo. Until our next story, Ashe.